Put your faith in the light.
Hello guys, welcome to another one of my videos. This is Lightblade, and well, in this one I wanted to talk about Delves. Delves is one of the new features that's coming in the War Within that Blizzard is hyping up a lot. It will be one of the new pillars of endgame, similar to raiding, Mythic Plus, and PvP. They released this preview and we're going to go over it so I can give you guys my opinion and thoughts. So you're warned, we will be pausing a bit here and there. And well, with that being said, let's start with the video.
World of Warcraft's upcoming expansion, The War Within, introduces an all-new pillar of progression for open-world players. Delves are 1 to 5 player, role-agnostic adventures found throughout Khaz-Algar. Players will typically be able to complete these bite-sized combat, puzzle, and platforming experiences in just 10 to 15 minutes, providing an additional way to level and an alternative path to endgame rewards alongside Mythic Plus dungeons, raids, and PvP.
Okay, so first off, this gives me the vibe that Blizzard learned their lessons from all the types of content they did in the past iterations of WoW. You know, Horrific Visions, they learned from Torghast, and they learned from also Island Expeditions, and they're mixing the best parts of all of them into this, the Delves, you know. Because Horrific Visions was really challenging content that was really fun to do. I actually did a lot of Horrific Visions back in BFA. I used them as like a warm-up before I went to do keys, because there was a lot of mechanics that kept you on your toes, and it was really good to do them. You know, you learned about a lot about kicking mobs, you just not stepping on swirlies. You did a good warm-up to do keys. Torghast, it wasn't liked by many people, but we can see that there is really good stuff that came from there as well. You know, the maps that weren't repetitive, because every time you went into Torghast it was a different layout, so that is a good lesson that Blizzard is getting from that. Hopefully they're going to apply it in the Delves. And the Island Expeditions, they also had those be different every time. You know, they were procedurally generated or something like that. So actually, no, that's Torghast. Island Expeditions that did have a different layout, and the problem with those features was that most of the time there were just chores without any pretty good incentive. Horrific Visions was the exception. Those had actual pretty good gear rewards at the end. So that made them a bit more enticing to do. Well, Torghast and Island Expeditions were just, yeah, they had some rewards like your Soul Ash for your legendary, but that's why people called it Torghast. And Island Expeditions had just Azerite power, which was very boring, you know. There was some transmogs and all those things, but still, pretty boring rewards. So let's keep watching.
Players can dive into Delves alone or in parties of any number up to 5, and any combination of classes and roles are viable, letting you approach each adventure as you see fit. Multiple healers could offer a safer way to travel, but prioritizing damage output might allow you to sprint through at record pace. This versatility allows players to progress with who they want, how they want, and when they want. As you approach, you'll be prompted to choose a difficulty level, called a tier.
Okay, first of all, I like that it's role agnostic, because that reduces the friction on who you can bring to your Delves if you're doing it as a group, and it's always like nice that you can do it as a solo player, you know, because solo challenging content is something that there's not a lot in World of Warcraft. Second, I see those circles under the tier. Those look like they're going to be affixes, and depending on what tier you pick, you're going to get more of those. You know, you're going to make your Delves a bit harder, in similar vein as Horrific Visions when you put another mask. You know, you added mechanics, so it was a bit harder. So I like that. Let's keep watching.
Tier, and can then walk right in. There is no loading screen. Lower tiers are available during leveling, with higher tiers added at max level and Season 1. If you're grouping with a friend or a couple of guildmates, just party up to enter the same instance. If you're looking to meet new Delvers, the Group Finder tool can assist with finding or forming a party. In the same way, it helps form groups for quests, mythic dungeons, raids, and custom activities. Whether you group with friends or strangers, everyone in your party can play whatever class and specialization they want, so no one has to sit out or be overlooked because their desired role is already filled. The flexibility of Delves is made possible thanks to your companion NPC. Each season, you'll be accompanied by a new companion who can be customized to complement your playstyle. The legendary dwarven historian Bran Bronzebeard, renowned explorer and veteran of the Second War, will be the first to join you. By choosing Bran's specialization, he could be molded into a healer or damage dealer, allowing him to fill the role you or your group need.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. So we are going to get those NPC companions that are going to help us if you're just going solo, maybe you need some healer or something. The important thing about these delves is the difficulty. I think they have to be challenging enough for people to find them interesting, because we already seen like content that was just easy and gave gear and people hated it. For example, the warfronts, they were extremely easy. You couldn't lose at a warfront, but people didn't like them because they were just another chore that you had to do just to get some extra gear. If they want to make delves, they have to be challenging but not out of reach. So I talk about horrific visions again, but that's because I think that was a total success in the way of how the content should be. Horrific visions was repetitive because you only did 2 maps every week. It's swapped, You either did Stormwind or Orgrimmar. But in delves they have so much more variety, and if they can do delves be like at the highest level, similar to, let's say, 5 mass difficulty in a horrific vision to get like the best rewards, I think they can be great, because 5 masks were pretty challenging back then in BFA. Obviously at the start they were more challenging as you got more gear and the thing got a bit easier, but still, I think difficulty is going to be the core thing here. They need to make them challenging enough for people to have fun in them. So let's keep watching.
As you progress, Bran levels up too, gaining skills that expand his arsenal and enhance his effectiveness. If you want to focus on damage output yourself, Healer Bran is happy to throw a potion on the ground that heals allies. Or, with a damage-focused Bran, you could activate his Gryffindor's battle harness, which lets him bombard enemies with lightning hammers from atop his loyal Griffin. Once you're max level and Bran is of a high enough rank, you'll begin earning curios. Equip Bran by choosing a combat curio and a utility curio to give him trinket-like effects that empower your party. In addition, Bran can help you find lost supplies and delves that can help you in your runs.
Okay, that's perfect. So they're basically using the Torghast system for the powers that you can get, extra boosts for your character. And Bran, or well, the companion that you get every season, is going to be akin to the bag of many things in Torghast, that those extra bonuses to help you in the delve, or in the Titan console in the horrific vision cases, where you upgraded a thing. You're going to be upgrading your companion here, Bran, to the max level, and then you can pick certain powers on him to help you do the delve. So yeah, this looks pretty fun. I see that they're using everything they've learned from all those types of contents, island expeditions, horrific visions, Torghast. It looks pretty solid, I think if they do it correctly, this can be a really good content, Let's keep watching.
There will be 12 different delves to explore at launch, and you can expect to find some in each of the new zones. In the Isle of Dorne, you venture into the Earthcrawl Mines, a dig site that has been taken over by Nerubians. In Hallowfall, you must carefully explore the Sinkhole, the very bottom of the zone, where all the water gathers and Kobus lurk and lure in their victims. In the Ringing Deep's Dread Pit, you'll spelunk into a forward base of operations that the Nerubians are using to lay assault on the machine speakers. And more adventures await in Azj-Kahet to discover for yourself. Upon the start of Season 1, a 13th delve will become unlockable. Focusing on a single boss encounter, players must now brave the enemy's lair and defeat the greatest threat yet, Zevzik. Delves are designed with replayability in mind and feature changing objectives. This means delves are dynamic, with each offering multiple experiences.
Oh, so it's great that there's going to be a lot of delves. 13 delves is a lot of variety. That was the crux of Horrific Visions, I think. Horrific Visions was fun. It had challenging content. The problem was you got bored of them really fast. You only had the 2 options, like I said before, Stormwind and Orgrimmar. And after you did them with 5 masks, yeah, it was pretty repetitive. But with 13 delves, and also those delves can swap position of the mobs, the objectives, and all those things. Yeah, this content looks that it can be a real big success. So let's keep watching.
Delve variants are unlocked at max level, similar to how world quests are unlocked, with different variants available on a given day. Perhaps one day you're sent on a mission to rescue a group of Earthen from the Nerubians. But on another, you find yourself working with the Arathi to burn all the Nerubian nests in that same location. Thanks to their dynamic objectives, you could visit the same delve multiple times and have completely different adventures. Completing delves will reward you with a variety of valuable loot. Get to the treasure room at the end of a delve, and you'll find chests that will provide you with guaranteed core progression rewards, upgrade track currencies, delve currency, and more, including a unique reward. The Delver's dirigible mount can only be earned through delves. It's a cosmetically customizable flying machine that allows you to mix and match various modules to create your own dynamic flight masterpiece. As you complete more of these adventures and journey into Azeroth's core, you'll earn new customization options, with more choices added each season.
So rewards is everything in this type of content, you know. Like I keep repeating about horrific visions because I think of all the content that they did in this similar vein, Torghast, Island Expeditions, horrific visions did have the best rewards at the end. You could do a 5-mass run and you got like an incredibly powerful piece of gear that was comparable almost to mythic raiding gear. It also had a corruption. It was random, but it was incredibly powerful if you got the correct one. And yeah, it was fun to do horrific visions. The problem was it was just too repetitive. But with delves, I think they're fixing all that repetitiveness, and they're also putting good stuff at the end. You know, they have this mount, they have a lot of cosmetics, like they said, and they also said that we're going to be getting like actual gear from these delves. So if the reward is good, people are going to do the content, then they're going to like it, and they're gonna keep doing it for more cosmetics and all those things. So let's keep watching.
Core progression items earned scale all the way up into the endgame. They are awarded at item levels relative to the difficulty of the delve, similar to how Mythic Plus dungeons and raids work, with items capping out at power levels comparable to Heroic raids or Mythic Plus 5 keys. Even the Great Vault itself is being updated to include reward choices for completing delves, offering players a chance to earn powerful items on a weekly basis. Delve currency can be used to buy collectibles and entry-level Warbound gear. You can also find the collectibles and Warbound gear in chests directly, as well as transmogs, pets, toys, recipes, and reagents. Keep an eye out for new hat cosmetics that can drop, and embrace your inner kobold or fungus. Are you ready to dive into delves? Experience a more flexible, more customizable World of Warcraft in the War Within.
Okay, so from what I saw, delves are set on rewards because that piece of gear that they show us from the max delve is a 1 out of 6 heroic track piece of gear. That means that's on par with the maximum things that you can get from Mythic Plus end of dungeon chest. Remember that end of dungeon chest from the max key can only be on the heroic track. It's going to be, let's say, on the 4 out of 6 on the heroic track, but still it's a heroic track piece of gear. The mythic version you can only get from the vault. So yeah, the delve piece can be upgraded to be as good as anything you can get from the max mythic plus, which makes the rewards really lucrative. Now, the rewards are good. The only thing Blizzard has to do to make this content really good is make it challenging enough where it's not a pushover. You know, you have to create friction between the player and the content, so the player finds failure. I'm in the vein that content has to have some challenge, because if it's a pushover, people don't like it. You know, it's not enjoyable to just go there, destroy everything, and get your reward, because then we're talking about the situation that happened with Warfronts. You couldn't lose on a Warfront, and it wasn't fun to do. You know, it was just a chore. So I'm thinking people have to fail a bit in delves, go back, you know, okay, maybe I need to do a lower delve, get more level on brand, and then I can do this higher delve and keep progressing that way. You know, make the player find progression. Even if it's a casual player, make him progress through the delves to get that max reward. That's the only thing Blizzard has to find out. You know, that is that special balance between challenging and enjoyable. And well, guys, that's going to be the end of the video for today. So I'm really hyped for delves. I think they can be a great addition to the game. I enjoy solo challenging content in WoW, and I think I'm just going to keep repeating. Horrific Visions was incredibly fun back in BFA. They were challenging, they gave great rewards, and if delves can be something similar to that in level of challenge, because we already saw the rewards, they're going to be good, but the challenge has to be there, you know. they're going to be a great addition if that happens. Well, let me know down in the comments, what do you think about delves? You know, should they be hard? Should they be easy? And well, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.